Welcome to Baddest Ballers. Please be sure to subscribe for more NBA analysis and content. Anyone who follows NBA basketball, or is a fan of basketball in general, knows that each team has historically had a starting five lineup that consists of five classic positions: the center, power forward, small forward, shooting guard, and point guard, also referred to as positions 1 through 5. The point guard is typically the shortest player with the best ball handling abilities and is typically tasked with orchestrating the offense. Shooting guards are bigger guards that play off the ball and are usually expected to be able to hit open shots or have the ability to create their own shots. Small forwards are usually expected to be highly versatile players that have both the agility to have a perimeter game and the size to be effective in the post. Power forwards are bulkier players that play primarily in the post, but with the expectation that they're able to shoot 10 to 15 feet from the basket with some consistency. Finally, centers are both the offensive and defensive anchors for their teams, expected to have a strong post-up game and offense, and ideally be able to supply ample rim protection on defense. However, as the sport has developed and matured, different strategies revolving around position utilization have evolved. Here are some prominent and popular examples of positional schemes that eschew the typical 1 through 5 norm. The Twin Towers lineup. Rather than play a typical 5 and 4, or center and power forward, a coach may choose to employ a lineup with two centers. This was popularized in the 80s with Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson, and again in the 90s with David Robinson and Tim Duncan. This strategy is most effective if both players have high-level post moves, can reliably shoot 10 to 15 feet away from the basket, and can pass out of the post effectively. The obvious downside of this tactic is the fact that the lane is essentially crowded, and if the remaining three players aren't proficient shooters, the offense can become stifled by knowledgeable defenses. However, on the defensive end, two defensively proficient fives will have the advantage of limiting the opposing team's ability to reliably score in the paint. Though this strategy has clear potential upsides, it has not been utilized very often, and in today's modern NBA is even less likely to be used going forward. Small ball lineup. In some ways, this can be considered antithetical to the Twin Towers lineup. Rather than capitalizing on the size and talents of your biggest players, the entire lineup will consist of players that are smaller in stature and preferably all possessing above average shooting, ball handling, and speed. The logic in employing this type of lineup is that the advantages lost in size, rebounding, and interior defense will be more than compensated for with the ability to push the ball on offense and have every player on the floor be a viable scoring and shooting threat. The offense is also made easier by forcing larger and slower players into bad matchups on the perimeter. Small ball was initially popularized by the Phoenix Suns, coached by D'Antoni, and has since been copied by multiple teams since then, perhaps most successfully by the Golden State Warriors, and in the most recent present, the Houston Rockets, also coached by Mike D'Antoni. The oversized point guard. As mentioned in the start of this video, point guards will typically be the shortest, quicker on the team, with the best ball handling. The oversized point guard attempts to have two bites of the apple to maximize the advantage on both ends of the floor. Players that are considerably larger than average point guards, but still possessing elite ball handling and court vision, comes with multiple advantages. The larger point guard will be able to see over the defense more effectively and will enjoy a size advantage over most point guards. Not to mention, will have the ability to potentially guard multiple positions as needed on defense. In some cases, larger point guards are given that role on a full-time basis, like Magic Johnson and Penny Hardaway. In other cases, players like Giannis Antetokounmpo and Nikola Jokic will play the role of point guard as needed and switch back to their regular position, also as needed. The double playmaker or double point guard scheme. Rather than rely on a single point guard or playmaker, this scheme allows for two playmaking point guards to take the reins of the offense simultaneously, foregoing the shooting guard position entirely. Though there are usually some defensive sacrifices with this type of lineup, the increased lateral ball movement typically yields positive results for teams that utilize this strategy. The Raptors have been known to occasionally use this strategy, playing both Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet in tandem, not to mention OKC's use of dual point guard lineups that include Chris Paul and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. NBA coaches are constantly tinkering with lineups in an attempt to both maximize the talent they currently have and diminish the talents of the opposing team. This is certainly not intended to be an exhaustive list, as there are unquestionably several iterations beyond the classic 1 through 5 lineup that can be used during the course of a typical basketball game. Coaches will inevitably continue to find new ways to play their players and experiment with lineups. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that thumbs up button and remember to subscribe for more content like this.